Tonight, President Biden touching down in Israel, the start of his first trip to the Middle East since taking office. Smiles, fist bumps, and warm words with the new Israeli prime minister. But still to come for the president, a more difficult meeting with a leader whose kingdom he once condemned as a pariah. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman, better known as MBS. The 36-year-old is the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia. But the CIA says he also ordered the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, sending a hit team to dismember him in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. MBS has always denied the allegation, but that didn't stop Biden slamming his government on the campaign trail.
We were going to, in fact, make them pay the price and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are.
But now he's eager for Saudi help, saying previously he hopes they'll pump more oil so Europe can wean itself off Russian supplies, and so American drivers will see some relief at the pump. The president insists that's not his main goal.
I guess I will see the king and the crown prince, but that's not the meeting I'm going to. They'll be part of a much larger meeting.
But with the midterms looming, the political pressures are clear. MBS was once celebrated in Hollywood and Silicon Valley as a promising young reformer. That ended abruptly with Khashoggi's murder. But a photograph with the U.S. president could help the prince and his country on a key priority, coming in from the diplomatic cold.
Nothing is more important than just no longer being treated like some kind of sick pariah state that has some kind of contagious disease.
MBS has brought sweeping social reforms to his kingdom, including allowing men and women to mix at concerts and movie theaters. But the Crown Prince has also crushed dissent. Loujain Al-Hatlul, an activist who campaigned for women's right to drive, says she was imprisoned and tortured by Saudi authorities, a claim the government denies. Big picture, the Crown Prince is a tyrant, a modernizer, both.
It's simply a reality that he has modernized it. It's also a reality that he's made Saudis fear for their lives, for their well-being, and for the well-being of their families. His form of tyranny and his form of modernization are deeply intertwined.
President Biden addressing criticism in a Washington Post op-ed, writing, "I know there are many who disagree with my decision to travel to Saudi Arabia. My views on human rights are clear and long-standing, and fundamental freedoms are always on the agenda when I travel abroad." The White House says President Biden will be mostly avoiding handshakes for COVID reasons. That may help him avoid shaking the hand of the Crown Prince, a hand that's allegedly stained with blood.
All right, Raf joins us now from Jerusalem. Raf, I know the White House is saying the president is avoiding shaking hands because of COVID, but he certainly did not avoid close contact today and even shaking hands with other people there in Israel.
Yeah, Tom, as you know, President Biden is a very hands-on politician, and he only really lasted a couple of minutes before he started shaking hands. He shook hands with a lot of people, including Benjamin Netanyahu, the former Israeli prime minister, and two very elderly Holocaust survivors. And so if he refuses to shake MBS's hand on Friday, it's going to be very difficult for the White House to argue that that isn't a deliberate snub.
Yeah, so I have to ask you about that, because that's why we bring this up, not for COVID protocols. It's because what's going to happen when he meets with the Saudis? Do we know what the meeting's going to look like with MBS and our president?
We don't know what the meeting is going to look like. The Saudis are the hosts, so they will probably control the format. But we do know that the White House is just dreading the visual of President Biden shaking hands with the Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman. They really don't want that image of him up close and personal with a man accused of ordering the murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.